In today's video, I'll be showing you my Notion setup. And as you can tell, I'm doing a voiceover today. I thought it would be kind of hard to keep up with reading captions and at the same time look at my Notion. So we're doing a voiceover today. And if you don't like this, don't worry. This is probably not gonna happen very often. But if you do, I truly hope you enjoy watching. So yeah, welcome. This is the main page that I use for all of my personal stuff. And on the left side, you can find an overview of all my other pages, which you will see in a minute. So we have Munchi's homepage, YouTube, college, and a secret project that I'm currently working on. Notion makes it very easy to customize everything. So for my banner, I have this GIF which you can find on Google by searching pixel art GIF, and for my icon I have this mushroom one which you can find by searching pixel art PNG. I also quickly want to mention that I use a lot of templates by amazing creators which I've all linked down below. So yeah, if you're interested in some of the pages you will see, make sure to take a look in the description. Underneath, I have a little motivational quote. As you can tell, I changed the background color to yellow, which is very easy to do. You just click on the little dots on your left and go down to color and choose a color. This is a great way to indicate that the following pages belong to a different topic, and it makes everything look very easy to read. And now we finally arrive at the pages. We're starting off with to-do. This is more of an overall to-do list, and what I mean by that is it doesn't belong to a specific date. These are things I could honestly do whenever I feel like doing them, and I organize them into this board view, which makes it very easy to just move them around once I finish them or to keep track of what I'm currently doing. Next on, I have two pages which I don't use very often anymore, but I used to in the past. During this entire quarantine experience, I often felt extremely bored and I didn't know what to do, so I made this list which shows me all the different things I could do, such as watch a drama, make pottery, journal, and so on. On the next page, I use a template made by Red Gregory, which is also linked down below. And here I keep track of all my expenses and income. This template is pretty much made to automatically subtract or add money. So for example, I bought this microphone for this voiceover. I'll insert the amount of money I paid here in the expense tab, and by simply doing that, it will automatically subtract that money from my balance, which in the end is really helpful to see how much you've spent that entire month, especially because it literally does the work for you. And the same thing goes for my income. If I insert how much I've got paid for something, it will automatically add that to my balance. And because I'm doing YouTube, I have a lot of different income streams. So personally, this way everything is just really easily organized. And now we arrive at the second section, which is more goal or future oriented. I have a page for my goals, which I want to achieve this year. It's just a very simple page, nothing crazy about it. And underneath I have my travel plans. I just made this page to write down all the places I would like to visit. And if you click on a certain place, it will show things like different cafes, stores, art galleries, and much more like that, which I would like to visit one day. And lastly, I made a page for my wish list. I like to spend money on things I actually need or want for a long time. So usually what I do is I write down anything I would like, and I would wait for around a month to see if I still really want or need that product, which is nice so you don't impulse buy random shit. And once I got something, I just checked the box. And for decoration underneath, I inserted the Spotify playlist widget, which you can just add by clicking the plus and going down to audio. Now moving on to the right side, I have this picture which I found on Google by searching pixel art GIF, and underneath I have like a quick grocery list, which is very handy because I use Notion on my phone a lot, so I can quickly see what I need. The next section is where I keep track of all my entertainment related things, such as K-dramas, books, anime, and these 4 templates are all made by Thrones of Pages, which again I've linked down below for you. Starting off with the K-drama page, I love this page so much. It's just so easy to keep track of things I would like to watch or things I have watched in the past, you just click on the little plus button and you add a new drama, and now you can add more information about that series, such as genre, how many episodes you watched, which by the way is great if you're like me and you forget where you left off. So yeah, and sometimes I even write a little review if I do ever decide to rewatch it. And you can also decide on how you want to view this page, such as a list, a gallery, or filter it on what you've watched already, and so on. Next up, I have the same exact template, but now movie oriented, and I don't use this very often because I would rather watch other things than movies, to be honest, but I still have it just in case. And lastly, I have this page to keep track of animes, which she divided by category. It's also a great way if you're out of things to watch. And same thing here, you can choose how you want to view this page. I prefer this gallery or table view, but there are also other views. The last category is definitely my favorite. I mostly have Studio Ghibli films here, which is why. I've recently picked reading back up, so I have this library page which looks so adorable. Again, this template is made by Throne of Pages, and it's pretty much a little bookshelf where I keep track of things I would want to read or things I'm currently reading. I also have this little counter widget which you can get on 𝐼Dify, and it pretty much just keeps track of how many books I've read. And for decoration, I have this GIF of 𝐤 from the Secret World of Arrietty. Lastly, I have some recipes which I've wrote down in a table view, and I have this animated GIF which I also found on Pinterest, and if you click on a certain dish, it will show what I need for it and how to make it. Underneath, I have a daily to-do list which is made out of a toggle list, which is very nice because you can open and close this section so you won't get overwhelmed by all the things written here. And I divided everything into 3 separate to-do lists. I have a place where I can write all the things I'm currently watching or reading, which I also saw on Throne of Pages. I already have separate pages for this, but it looks very nice. Moving on, we have my YouTube section, is where I keep track of all my YouTube related stuff. This is probably my most used page. It's pretty much a huge whiteboard where I write down all my video IDs, keep track of my planned videos, scripts, and more. On the left, I have quick reminders, which usually contain emails I have to reply to or send unlisted videos to a brand. And underneath, I have another pixel art GIF. Firstly, I have this page where I write down all my video IDs, which, spoiler alert, I have a lot of. And of course, I will have to blur out a lot of this because I haven't made these. But yeah, I love this because I made a separate page for every ID, so I'm able to write additional information such as shots I want to include or links I want to add in that video's description, or just title IDs. And sometimes I even include a few thumbnail examples, which helps me out a lot to figure out what the vibe of my thumbnail will be or what shots I like better than others. Next up, I have this video queue page, which keeps track of all the videos that I will be filming and uploading. So the difference between this page and my previous page is that these are all the videos that I'm determined to make this month or the month after that. It gives me an idea on what will be expected and by when, so I can start filming on time. And I put everything in this table view, and I added some tags so I can quickly see what that video is about. And I can also see if I'm currently working on or if I finished it already. And next we have this still have to film page, which is exactly what it sounds like. I write down all the things that I still have to film for each video. So yeah, I think you can tell by now that I'm a pretty organized person. And lastly in this section, I have a page for some editing inspo or fonts I haven't downloaded yet, but I'm interested in downloading. On the second block, I have things organized like sponsorships, notes, and future updates. Starting with notes, these are ideas of things I want to upload on Instagram or stories, or something I want to post on my community tag on YouTube, and pretty much everything else. for future updates, this is where I write down products that would improve my videos or other things related to that, such as making a public Spotify playlist or ordering a hard drive to edit my videos on. And yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with all the upgrades I've done. In goals, I mainly focus on YouTube goals, which is very cool to look back on because, as you can tell, I didn't even plan to be monetized in 2021, but here we are monetized and 60k subscribers later. And lastly, I have this dedicated page to sponsorships, which include my past sponsors or sponsors I would like to work with in the future. And on the right, I have another one of the Spotify playlists, which I don't know, they just make the page look a lot more interesting. And on the very bottom, I also have a calendar. Moving on, this entire college template is made by Isabelle, which I've also linked down below. I just changed the banner and some pictures or removed some of the links on the left. And I also changed these banners in Procreate. It was very easy to do. College hasn't started for me yet, so I haven't actually used this. A lot of it will look a little empty, but I will give it a try once classes start, and if this method works for me, I'll continue using it. In the middle, we have a monthly planner, and I really like how she made this because whenever you want to add a new month or a new page for task, you will get this option and you just click whatever you need and a template will automatically be given. On the left, we have some links which include tasks, school, and library. Firstly, we have tasks. And underneath, we have School Hub for things like classes, events, or any big projects. And lastly, I have linked my library, which is just my library from my homepage. Underneath, I have the same to-do list you've seen on my homepage because it's synced to each other. And lastly, we have a schedule, which is just my Google Calendar. At the right side, I have a counter widget, which I still have to edit, but can pretty much count down to any specific date you want. And underneath, I have a live bar, which shows how far into the year you are. And both of these can be made through Indify. Lastly, I have my current read, and I also have another counter widget, which is also synced to the widget in my library. Underneath the monthly planner, we have a daily overview, and I especially like the meal planning toggle. I think as a college student, this would be perfect to write down your meals for the week, and as well as the cart toggle. I already have one, as you've seen in my homepage, but this is the same thing. You just write down anything you would want to buy at the grocery store. Next up, we have a place to write down all of your classes and information or major projects of that class. Next to that, I have a task list, which is the same one as above, and at the very bottom is pretty much a repeated section of every task you will have to do or tasks you've done already. We finally arrive at the end. I won't be able to show a lot, but this is pretty much the same layout as my homepage, and in here I write down every single idea I have. I guess I can show you one thing. For example, I wrote down streaming, which isn't something I'm certain about doing, but it's still a nice idea. So yeah, I wrote it down, and if you open it up, it would show things I need for it or games I could play or just overall thoughts on it. So yeah, that includes my entire Notion setup. Again, thank you so much to Notion for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in joining Notion, you can sign up for free using the link in my description. I hope you found this somewhat helpful, and again, if you're interested in some of the templates you've seen, I've linked them all down below for you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week.